Good morning, everybody. I'm Revelle, Managing Director and CEO of Pursuit Minerals. Pursuit Minerals is an Argentine lithium developer focused on its flagship Rio Grande Sur Project in the Salta region of Argentina. We see ourselves as a unique and attractive value proposition in a fundamentally mismatched investor climate where demand is starting now to transition from deficit to surplus. For us, very unique, just a few headline points on the investment case. We have a high-grade, large-scale resource completed from 2 diamond drill holes of over 1 million tons, 1.1 million tons at 505 mgl Li. That's in excess of a 50-year mine life. We have an accelerated path to production with an existing plant that is currently producing lithium carbonate samples, or sample of final grade, which really gives us some idea of a potential re-rate as the market increases. Added to that, we're in Argentina, which is an established and increasing Tier 1 jurisdiction with investments of over $10 billion from Rio Tinto and BHP in the past 12 months, really signifying a return for Argentina as a Tier 1 jurisdiction with the new Milei government. Pursuit has a really succinct, focused strategy. There is a glowing deficit coming in the lithium market. We've seen over the past sort of 10 years, lithium being highly cyclical, highly transitional. When new supply comes into the market, the price cools off, and then new demand replaces. There's a deficit in supply. So we're seeing that currently. We're seeing a return of supply from higher cost mines as demand, since they were taken offline over the past 6 months, has picked up. Current demand is currently sitting around 1.5 million tons LCE per annum, and that's expected to increase to between 2.6 to 3.6 over the next 5 years. However, there is a problem. There is not new supply for this amount of lithium that is in the pipeline, and which for lithium projects, the average construction horizon is in fact 5 years. So to be meeting 2.6 to 3.6 million tons of lithium demand, you need to be commencing production and construction today. For us, we see an opportunity to capitalize on this growth where we're coming in at the bottom of the market and actually producing from a lithium carbonate plant from an existing high-grade, high-value resource. The lithium triangle is where we're situated, just to give you an idea of our project and why this region is important. More than 50% of global lithium resources are situated within this region. And importantly, this has been the home of the largest M&A transaction in lithium to date, the $7 billion acquisition of Arcadium Lithium by Rio Tinto. Those assets are within Argentina, historically Livent, Orocobre, Alchem merged together, now purchased by Rio as Arcadium. The area is also home to Albemarle, SQM over on the Chilean border, which are the 2 largest lithium producers in the world. For us, we're very bullish on Argentina. The macro case for the country's never been stronger. We're starting to see a massive change in government sentiment at the federal level, thanks to the new president, Javier Milei. Javier himself has introduced legislation such as the RIGI to attract large-scale investment, opened up the oil and gas sector. He's slashed the government in terms of its spend, reducing government departments, very much focused on attracting foreign direct investment and attracting taxes, royalties, and investment in itself. Argentina doesn't just have lithium, it has some very attractive gold, copper, and silver prospects, and Pursuit is no stranger to that. We're looking around at potential assets that over the past 5 to 10 years may not have been investable, just given the climate of Argentina. It's very prohibitive. Former governments, the leftist Kirchner government with currency controls and things like that. But now that those currency controls are in the process of being lifted, we've seen a return to the international markets and favorability with the IMF. For us, assets that may not have been prospective are now becoming very prospective in what is considered a Tier 1 address. The real value of lithium brine projects, I often compare this to being the best house on the worst street. The lithium brine Argentina, the sector of the lithium triangle, is very much a Tier 1 address, which is simplified into a very simple proposition. There are 17 lithium salars, no more, no less. There are some outliers where you will find lithium brine deposits outside of these salars. However, with 17 now, 35% are under Chinese control. For example, Ganfeng owns 4 salars that are listed on the screen, either through direct investment such as the Mariana project, or through indirect investment, being the major shareholder of Lithium Argentinas that owns the Pastos Grandes Salar. The average M&A value for a salar in Argentina is 200 to 300 million US dollars. This is shown by Lithium Chile, who sold 80% of their Arezaro project, which is number 7, a 10,000 hectare position on number 7, for 180 million in December last year, what's considered the bottom of the cycle. The pragmatic reality to lithium opportunities is that in 5 years, there will not be an entry point into this jurisdiction. Not because it's not special, not because it's anything other than there are limited opportunities of these projects. You cannot find additional salars. These have been very well mapped from space in terms of satellite imagery, and they're a very unique proposition. So for us, we're very fortunate to have a land position which will increase in value as the market rebounds. Rather than focusing on the fact that we have a resource which has got exhaust potential expansion, I'd rather talk about the lithium plant, which is the key value for us. So unlike many others, we're not an explorer, we're a producer. We actually have a lithium carbonate plant, which is shown on screen, 250-ton production capacity, which has been recently commissioned. And I believe, if we go to the next slide, is actually producing lithium carbonate. So in the slide on the left, you can see our first run of samples that are currently being produced of lithium carbonate product. That sets us apart from a lot of other companies in the space where we have shown the viability and the proof of concept behind the operation. So for us now, we're really focused on advancing the 250-ton project and moving that up the value chain, where we're looking to relocate that plant from the current warehouse to this position at site, establishing a 250-ton continuous operation. In successfully doing that, we'd be the 3rd lithium carbonate producer listed on the ASX and one of a handful of companies in continuous production, not doing DLE production at a lab scale or not doing some batch testing, but actual continuous production of product, which should increase and significantly re-rate our value in terms of our market cap. For us, the production is also scalable, and we have a very succinct growth plan, phased modular, which goes from 250 tons to 5,000 tons to 10,000 tons, which is very attractive in terms of its capital investment. A 20,000 ton operation is running by around 400 to 500 million US of capex, whereas a 5,000 ton is around the 125 to 100 million US mark, making it a bit more attractive, especially when you're already demonstrating the 250 ton on a continual basis and a continual processing operation. That creates early stage revenue, de-risks the project, the proposition in itself from a technical standpoint, and also gets buyers in as you're already selling the product. So for us, this project also fits within the framework of the RIGI, Argentina's RIGI investment, which has attractive tax incentives and also attractive reciprocation of currency and unlocks a lot of fiscal and regulatory benefits for us as we continue to grow. For us, very focused on our growth and pipeline project execution. Over the first Q1, Q2, we're currently working through our first production, as you saw, which we're making significant strides, submitting environmental permits to relocate the plant up to site, working through and de-risking the project. We're also having a look at other complementary assets. While lithium is our focus, we are very open to other commodities, gold, copper, especially in Argentina, assets that were previously unloved but now can find significant value. I personally hope Donald Trump declares war on aliens, as it'll just continue to push the prices sky high at 3,000 per ounce for gold, 5,000 per ton for copper. This is going to continue as we have macro instability and geopolitical instability with tariffs and trade wars. We're in a commodities bull market. It's only time before the equities start to catch up. For us, we're looking even further forward through the feasibility studies that are set for release towards the middle of this year and starting to cement and work on our offtake partnerships with various parties interested in securing the finance so that we can grow the operation. So a lot of news flow in the pipeline there, working towards that commercial production scale. As stated, we're not an explorer. We're not looking to drill. We're not looking to increase our resource. While we can, and we do have an exploration target between 3 to 4 million tons for resource expansion, with over 1 million tons, 1.1 million at 505 mgl Li, there's significant mine life, and we see the real value in our ability to produce, not in the resource appraisal at the moment. Lithium market starting to move from from surplus to deficit. So in timing for us, we're seeing the macro trends of lithium. If you look outside, 35% of the cars on the road are electric. So we're really starting to see the demand case turn around. And with the prices at current level, while our operation is still profitable, majority of the market is not. So for us, we're starting to see the surplus leave the market, deficit come back. The last price spike was caused by an 8% deficit in the market, with Citi forecasting a 2% deficit by 2027. So right now we're in a good opportunity to continue to progress and grow the project as the lithium market returns from surplus to deficit over the coming years. Summarizing, I'm over, so thank you for your time.